Market is open.
All right, guys, it's 9:30 and let's start the stream. So here we go. Hey guys, good morning. First things first, I am Dontez Lindsay, General Manager of Ducks Trading LLC and the lead trainer of StockCraft. I am not a financial advisor, and anything I say... What was the last part? Oh, it's for entertainment purposes only. There we go. Now, let's switch over. So today we kind of have a play. It's not ideal yet. Looking at CEI. And I kind of looked at CXI. But that one I'm not like that sure about. Let me put the chat over here so I don't do the problems I do every day. But since we have like a lot of time before CEI gets to the point where it hits the pretty much the $1 billion resistance, or like dollar volume resistance. So there's not enough to like scare them away like around 250. So I can easily see it get up to 3. Like I almost broke my rules this morning and traded in pre-market, and then like not just traded in pre-market, I almost went long, and we're short by a chat room. That's like, you know, unheard of. I got up at, so in here it's 7, but in specific time it's 4, and yeah, like I just saw it did like a little dip above, and then, you know, it closed pretty strong, so we all knew it was going to come up. And by that point, it already had, was it like 15 or 20 million? And this thing has been trading a lot. And I'm just like, wait a second, this is a $2 stock. I can easily make a good 10% just by waiting 20 cents up. And I was like, if anything, this could probably get like 40 cents, 60 cents. And then as soon as I knew I had that super strong urge, I just knew it would kill my habits if I actually did it. It looks like it just pulled right out of the open by a good 20 cents. And that's normal on these kind of like stocks that just gapped up, because there's a lot of people in the pre-market that just want to get out because they've been like holding for a while, and or they could just be the irrational traders that don't know better. But for now, we have a lot of time before this gets into the range that I'm actually trying to hit. So I'm going to just let this ride. And so going up to 240 now, I'm not even going to think about it. Just to show you, I borrowed shares. I borrowed 3,000. So this like $8,000 worth. And that's pretty decent for the size account I have. And wait, why did I take that part off? Where'd it go? Okay, probably have to go to the top. Scroll down. Okay, well, what did I disappear anyway? I think it was a portfolio. There we go. Now, what is that doing? Good morning, guys. Hey, Lucas. Hey, Caesar. Hey, Ricardo. Hey, Chris. Yeah, see, that's squad right there. Squad. What do I say? Oh, I have to apologize to you guys because for the StockCraft, there was a lot of times where it came up saying the license was like, you know, something was wrong with the license. Actually, that was a user error, and in this case, I was the user. I actually just made a little video before this because the same problem came up, and so I did a screen recording. I just don't know how to put the audio. Like, I don't know how to like make that come up. But basically, I told you guys I would like contact support and figure out why that license issue happened. Long story short, if you look at my first stream, like the 15-minute one, you'll see me pull up the task manager, and I'll do it again. But when I pull up the task manager, you see there's one instance of StockCraft. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the stock. But there's one instance of StockCraft right now. If I improperly close this, the instance of StockCraft is going to be still in the background. And if it's still there and it shows up in the task manager, it's going to come up with that license issue because it thinks someone else is trying to, like, you know, be on the same account that you're on now. And if it doesn't show up in the task manager, that's where you kind of have to restart your computer or like log off and log back on, because it's kind of like hidden in the, like, behind the internet or something. But I tested it a few times, and yeah, that solves the problem. And yeah, sorry guys, like, there's at least 2 streams where we could have been looking at the platform the entire time. And I like to, you know, shuffle through the candles just to make sure the price and stuff reshuffles, because up here it gets a little stuck sometimes. But this the simple info in this area, it updates pretty regularly. And then I like to keep TradeZero on here too. So let me put this off to the side. Oh yeah, oh, that looks good. That looks real nice. Okay, let me put the chat on this side too. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Yeah, but other than that, how you guys doing? Oh, hey, Kevin. Hey, Henry. Schwan? What? Nice name. CI. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure it was updating right. Yeah, good. Now, with CCXI, so again, I was up at like 4 o'clock, and this is interesting. That's all I gotta say about that. Like, this came from like 40, went all the way down to like 10, and then there was a like ownership got switched, as well as what do you call that? It's a 10Q. It was a 10Q. Is that the offering or warrant? But basically, there's so many things that happened in August, September, June, and then like 2 earnings. And like at that moment, I'm just like, I'm going through all the SEC filings, and yeah, I'll just show you actually, because there's a lot of beginners in here, so they probably don't know what I'm talking about. I have the ticker going at like 22.2 right now on this side. If it drops right now, the closest it'll go to, or like it'll bottom out around like 2 and then come right back up, if anything. Because there's a lot of resistance, or no, support at the bottom around like 180, and like that's going to be hard to break too. So we need like a minimum range to get at least, so I'm aiming for like 50%, so I can go for a actual solid 30% minimum. But like, that's just me. But what I wanted to say is, when you are looking through like the SEC filings, there's only 2 files that actually really matter. So if you come up here to the sec.gov, go to filings, go to company filing search, and put in the ticker that you're looking for. And let's say, what did I want? CCXI. Okay, 2.25. Okay. But if you go here, you can see the latest filings they had. And then I'm looking through, like, just skimming through important numbers, and that's all you really have to do. The only 2 that really matter are 424B and 10Q, which is earnings. And no, it's not earnings. It's either warrant or offering. I have notes. I usually just go back to those when I see it, because this is stuff that this is the due diligence that you do before you get into the trade, like way before the market even opens. And so like 8K is not important. What is it? 10K, not important. The only thing that is important is 10Q and 424B. And like, this is basically warrants and offerings. And if you know about Okay, it went down to 2.14. Stop that. There we go. But that's at 219. What am I doing? Okay, I'm getting distracted. Let me make sure the chat can be fully seen. I only see half of it right now. There we go. So good so far, being patient with CEI. Good job, Caesar. Being patient is what we need right now. It did its like 10%. Wait, what would that be? 20 cents? And so yeah, it did this by like 10, 15 cents pull. It should just rocket up at least twice that amount. So that we're looking at like a 36, was it 30 to 60%? I keep saying percent. 30 cent to 60 cent bounce. There we go. Okay. See, I don't like to look at the stock too much because I get mesmerized and I just start staring at it with my mouth open. And you guys don't want to see that on stream. Like, so, let's see. Nothing much. Kind of fed up with this whole pandemic situation here in EU. Yeah, I had to do a little bit more research on that. On the pandemic situation. But, you know, my prayers up to you, man. Yeah. You think CEI will squeeze? So yeah, I do, because so if you just try to, you know, put yourself in the perspective of, how should I put this? There's a lot of people that are trading this, like too many people, and a lot of them are trapped in various places. You know how many people bought the dip is what I'm gonna say. So I think in the last stream I actually mentioned something about once a stock is up over 400%, if it drops too fast, you can dip by below the 50% area. That's pretty much what a lot of people did. Since it dropped like way too fast, a lot of people bought the dip. And when I said like 400% before, if it drops between 50 to 75% within like a small window of time, that's a decent signal that how should I put this? Like there's going to be a correction, and that correction minimum is going to go back up to the 50% mark, and at that point it becomes like a key point where sorry, I got distracted by the stock. It becomes a key point where there could be an extra 10, 15, rare cases like 20 plus kind of bounce, and you only want to make those long positions under the 50% because we're going off very simple kind of logic. You know, half dollar, whole dollar, half spike, full spike, and then kind of like a fifth of a bounce of the full spikes range. And it's very simple. There's all kinds of patterns out there that use the same methods. It's just when you have a lot of people in a stock, it's a lot easier to make it a meme. And then memes, they have their own nature. And what am I saying? Like I still think it's gonna squeeze. And if it doesn't, that just means it wasn't worth a short. If it was worth a buy at some point, but I'm just gonna stay disciplined with my rules because yeah. So 50 to 75% drop in a day, that does happen, like GME and stuff. And like that's actually kind of where the idea came from. This is something that Steven mentioned in one of the previous conferences. How if it drops like more than 50 to 75%, like in a small window, it's supposed to be a correction, especially on the $1 billion stocks or the billion market caps. In this case, what do you call it? In this case, there's enough people in here that it becomes a $1 billion market cap, and you can use the same kind of logic. And that's another reason you should track your statistics, because within certain market caps, they all kind of act the same way. And like that's why I'm just being patient right now. So what I think is going to happen is, if you know how to, change to like think about liquidity in terms of like morning switching to midday to like late day, all the morning's going to have a lot of the volume, and that's going to be trapped a little bit under like the high a day. I think people are going to, what should I say? For the like next hour, they're just going to kind of consolidate, go back and forth. People are going to get tired. Other people are going to see this as holding the support, and then that's going to bring in more buyers. That's going to bring it up. It's going to come back up to, the open area. Around that time, everybody's going to be like, this is going to the moon. And then, that's where the 20% squeeze comes in. And then that's, what is it? $2 stock. So that's 40 cents right there. And then at that point, once it reaches, where you at? Once it reaches about like, 270, 280 area, that gets into like a different kind of situation where it starts getting into that $1 billion resistance. And if there's like too many bag holders from here to there, it actually probably won't even go that far. It's going to start getting like a little slower. And if we're talking about like a slow grind, it slowly go up there and probably stop around like early 3. And the thing is, the closer you get to that 3, the more the buyers are going to just be looking for that 3. And then the shorts and sellers and stuff underwater, they're just not going to want to test it once they're under at least like 15+%. But especially when they get like up there, when you get past what is it, like 30% and you're down, at that point you're kind of just in there for the long run, because you're trying to hold it like the 50% or like some other stubborn stuff. I don't recommend it, but a lot of people do it, and that's how that goes. Diamond hands, there you go. Yeah, you got diamond hands, you got gorillas, you got we call them the apes. They're fun. Like, you watch this stream. What was I say? Did I explain CCXI? Or why I wanted to? Yeah. I wanted to like go in at like was it 29, 30? Because what did it do? It was something about like a big jump. So like the owner switched. There were a bunch of other like positive things. Oh, I remember. If you go to my notes, you see it was easy to borrow. When I just wanted to see how much the shares were. And if it comes up green like this, instead of actually showing you how much, the borrows are, that means it's easy to borrow. And things that are easy to borrow, it has its own kind of incentive for other people to buy the stock. And at the same time, like, I don't normally trade stocks that have a $1 billion plus kind of cap, but I am getting a little more comfortable with like trading higher price stocks, because it feels a little bit safer, because like, if the higher the price is, the more likely it's going to go down. But other than that, anybody got any questions? Like, I just talk like a lot, so feel free to interrupt. LOL, TZ having something ETB. That's new. Oh yeah, easy to borrow is it's pretty rare to see in the stuff that we trade. Now, what was I doing? The thing is that the mindset I had this morning was toxic, because as soon as I wanted to buy this, and I had like a super strong urge to buy this, I'm looking in my bed and I could barely see anything. I'm just waking up, and like first thing I do when I wake up is like I grab my laptop and I see like what's the top gainers, and then only gainer I see at that moment, like because I have my criteria on there, is CEI, and I'm like, oh, that's okay. I'm okay with that. And so I'm looking at 0.007 borrows. I'm like, oh snap! Before that goes like super high, and like TZ realized they messed up, let me get like 3,000 real quick before they, you know, try to charge an arm and leg. And what's what I say? Yeah, but like soon as I thought of thought about like the short like potential, I just start staring at the stock. I'm like, I should really go back to bed before my body like tries to beat me up. And what was I saying? Yeah, but basically I thought about buying when I saw like this little perk right here came back, and I'm like, oh, there's a lot of strength in this. I was like, I know better. People remember this recent spike. I was like, I've seen enough of these over what, 7 years that like they're gonna chase. And I was like, they don't even have to chase like hard. I was like, I could easily get a 10%, 20% off of this. I could scalp it. I could do it. And then I realized what kind of mindset I was putting myself in. Oh, look at it. It's going to $2 right now. So let me take this back. There we go. It's 206. Okay. Oh, okay. It's going back up a tiny bit. I want to see how many people are going to dip by this. But oh, let me look at the chat. So, yeesh. Can you go over how to find FCC filings for a company? What to look for? CEI, for example. FCC filing. FCC. I actually don't know what FCC is. Are you trying to say SEC? FCC. Oh, I don't need to look that up. Hey, Caesar, if you know what the acronym stands for, could you like spell it out for me? You know, I'm a little slow sometimes. But was it 210? Probably meant SEC. Oh, okay, yeah. I thought I just did that. So basically, yeah, just go to sec.gov, go over here to filings, and you're going to look for the company filing search. And so you could just go straight to it when it drops down like that. And welcome to your feedback. I don't want to give it. No, okay. There we go. And then just put in whatever ticker that you're looking up. And so if you want CEI, just go to CEI. Make sure it's the right company. Like, see, this one says New York Stock Exchange. But what was I about to say? It looks down the latest like filings here. And I mentioned before that only two really matter. There are some that are decent catalysts to buy on a long, like earnings winners, partnerships, mergers, a reverse split sometimes. But it all comes down to how you look at supply and demand, and you have to be looking for that specific catalyst and news for you to trade it. But most of the time I don't even actually look at the news. If I do, it's because like there's some really big action and it doesn't seem normal. And so the ones that are, you know, really important to know about would be 10Q and 424B. Where did I put it though? Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, so 10Q and 424B. And that's the name of the file that you look for. So you can see these are all 8Ks. They're not important. I'm trying to think about the last 424B, which is basically offering and warrants that I saw. What am I doing? Oh, yeah, sec. I did not notice I put the wrong one. LOL. Haha. Thanks for answering the question. Yeah, no problem. Now, what am I doing? Yeah, went up to 215, 217. What's a S3? Hold on. Did you see a S3? Control find S. Nope. Wait, hold on. What is happening? Oh, it's up here. Yeah. S3. Yeah, I don't see anything. It didn't come up with S3. Wait, are you being funny? I think the joke fell flat. Okay, but what am I doing? Oh, another thing. I think yesterday, other than like the license issue, I promised you guys something else. Anybody remember what it was? I see. I had critiques for myself. Okay, another user problem I pretty much had. No, just saying it's another important filing to look for. Oh, really? Okay, let me look that up later. I'll write a note. So Patty says S3 is another important file to look at. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it like that for now. What am I doing? But on the stock graph, it's case sensitive when it comes to the login. There's been so many times where I thought something was wrong, but it was actually I just had a capital. The license error, I told you how to fix that. Just delete it in the task manager. Another thing is in the strategy builder, if you run a strategy on the server side, you can't use the pre/post market data like while you're running a simulation. And so like there's so many like little corners I put myself in. And so, you know, if I put myself in enough corners, that save you guys a lot of trouble. So I think I'm okay. It was something else. Oh, I remember. I took pictures. Oh, look at that. Back up to 221. You know, someone that bought the dip. Like, you know who I'm making fun of. Someone that bought the dip. They got a 10%. What am I doing? Yeah, so here we go. Cute girl from the dispensary. I told you that I'd take a picture of my setup. Is this big enough? Can I click it even more? Yeah, so this is the merger or the contract winner. S3. Yeah, I have to look that up. Is that a merger? Yeah, I don't know. But what was I doing? Yeah. So this is my setup right now. So like, as you can see, these are you guys talking right here. And yeah, just 2 monitors set up. Like some PC I got off of Amazon. The one I built is over here. But you can't see that yet. But I actually did take more pictures, I think. So let's just scroll down. This is just my clipboard if you guys were wondering what that is in the background at all times. And yeah, there's nothing special about that. I just create symbols and, you know, give them a special name, and then like little motivational quote mantra kind of stuff. You know, twisted ways I show love to my body. And yeah, there's the other setup. And so this is my gaming setup and this is the streaming setup. Oh, another thing. We talked about memory retention and how I like study my notes. If it's like Chinese trading and a few other things I just want to like remember. These are index cards that I just, it starts in the front as, you know, after 15 minutes, I review it. Then it goes to like 45 minutes. Then it goes to like a day, then a week, then a month, and it keeps going back. And the further it goes back, the more it like, I don't have to really remember it. I just pick these up and I just go through them systematically. Other than that, these are all just trading notebooks. I have a lot of them and lots of files. Everything else over here is just technology stuff. This is my couch or second bed. And no, that's my bed. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I haven't given this statue a name, but he's just looking majestic. And so, you know, I just look over at him and, you know, I hope he rubs off on me, and I feel majestic sometimes. But let's see what you guys are saying. What is S3, a merger or a contract winner? If I'm not mistaken, S3 is the form filed with issuing new shares and types of shares offering. I don't actually know about that. Hold on. Oh. Did I have something to hear about it? I don't. Why did it even bring that up? I don't understand. But what am I doing? Yeah, so it's still at 220. Was there something else that I showed you guys? Well, other than that, I just made a video for the part 2 of the stock graph tutorial. So for the guys that are here for, you know, they want to see the stock graph and how's it going, then, or not then, you can see that once it gets posted either Saturday or Sunday. I'm not going to edit, but I sent it out. And technically I did edit a few things, but yeah, I already sent it out. It's pretty long. At least when I sent it, it was long. Huh. Maybe this isn't refreshing. Okay, yeah, it goes. It's good. So down here is the one that I really had to watch. I don't know. Like if I stare at this too long, you can see, even if I'm not trading, I'm panicking in my head. And then, like, you know, all in one swoop, I'll just go all in, 4 times leverage. It'd be horrible to watch. But you know, in the meantime, oh, here we go. We got more stuff. So, and types of shares offering. You look majestic. Oh, thanks, Caesar. And why no picture of the Pikachu? So yeah, those are my little buddies. I feel like I'd be like one of the girl streamers if I just bring that up. And you know, I might lose some clout or something. You know how I am about my face. Just not really. But what am I doing? Pikachu is a throwback. But yep, issued when new shares. Okay, so S3 is when new shares are issued. Good. I like this. Share more information. Yeah, we could share it with everybody. What should I put? There we go. Now, seeing your 8-tail Naruto fan, how do you like Boruto? I myself am a Bleach fan. Bleach, that's where it's at. So I didn't finish the manga for Bleach, but I watched like all the animes and then a little bit of the manga. But Naruto, yeah, seen it way too many times, like anime and manga. When it came to Boruto, that kind of came as like a kind of a slap in the face until I gave it a little bit of a chance. I took the time to look at like 20, maybe 30 episodes, but I was like really busy during that time. And once I got to the point where like dude had, you know, his own eye, and you know, he learned Rasengan in like a quarter of the time and all this other stuff, I kind of took it as not an insult, but I'm just like, man, how come the younger generation doing everything faster? And like, I just felt a little old. Usually I get the updates from Steven. Every time he's just like, oh, in the new chapter, guess what Boruto did? And I'm just like, oh, thanks for spoiling it for the, 1,000th time. But yeah, I'll go check it out probably. But it got spoiled. The dopamine's gone, and you know how that goes. But what am I doing? Oh yeah, that was the only question. So what am I doing? I legit just keep looking at the stock on side screen. Like on TZ. If you guys can't see this, yeah. But what am I doing? I gotta fix the screen again now. But other than that, I can show you guys some stuff. Oh, let me stay next to the mic. I can show you guys some stuff. Yeah, Steven's a Boruto fan. He likes a lot of action animes. Most of the things he watches looks very, very expensive. Like a lot of Chinese animation is expensive. One of my main ones is Soul Land. It's the English name, but it's like Dola Dalu. And yeah, I think it's like one of the top. Okay, that might be a lot. I could think of like 2 more that are more expensive, but like Dola Dalu, it's up there. What am I doing? I was doing something. Oh, strategy builder. So first I want to make sure this keeps updating. the, yeah, it's at 219. Crap, I blocked the price a little bit. Let me move this back over. Man, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that can make this harder than it actually is. All right, now let's go over a little bit about the strategy builder. So just in case you guys like didn't know, oh, he's still talking, Naruto. The I'll get to that in a second. Let me just give it like a little bit of this. Just in case you guys didn't know, like this is the strategy builder. It's going to look at historic data on the built-in symbol side, and it's going to run signals across whatever like start date and stop date that determine the amount of data that you're going to look at. In this case, we're looking at like 20, 21 years. And using the built-in side, this is where futures, options, Forex, and that type of stuff come in. If you want to go to like stock market data and stuff that's updated daily, also updated like, you know, instantly. If you go up to the tools and settings, go to additional, you can like set it to whatever period like pretty much matches your style. I put it on always because I'm just impatient or something. And I'll keep it at long for now. But again, these are like Forex and everything. So you got futures, ETFs, Forex, and I feel like there's something else. But once you select your markets, you select how much data you're going to look at. This right here, this is where like risk reward comes in. So you got your reward is, you know, the profit target. And if you have it on fixed, this becomes a dollar amount. If you have it on ATR, this becomes a multiple of ATR. If you don't know what ATR is, it's pretty much the highest number between three equations. And so that's the high minus the low. The high minus the close is like the absolute value of that one. And the absolute value of the low minus the previous close. And so the middle one I was talking about, the absolute of the high minus the previous close, that's what that really is. So out of those three equations, it takes the highest of that, and then that becomes the ATR multiple. And what that is, it's a metrics of the volatility. And you know, it doesn't get up to 1,000 like that. Normally it looks something closer to like 1 point something, or probably up to like 4 or 5. Like the highest I've seen in like a really weird period was like 8. But that's pretty much what that means. In my case, I usually don't try to make myself confused more than I normally am. And so I just keep it at 1,000. And I put it over here at fixed. So this becomes $1. And this delta 3 here, that's pretty much change over time. And so the way you read this is, you know, you're looking for 1,000, and then you add this 1,000 onto that 1,000, it becomes 2,000. Then you add it one more time, that becomes 3,000. So it's looking for 1,000, 2,000, and 3,000. And so that becomes your reward, which means now you need a risk. And that's where you can choose whichever way you want to tell the program to look for your risk. In my case, you know, I kept it simple again. I came over here, pressed fixed, and I just kept the delta at 0 and kept it at 1,000. And so that's a 1-to-1 minimum risk reward, but it's also looking up to a 3-to-1. You could do the same thing with the multiples of the highest high and the lowest low, where you can basically look at a specific range. Wait, I see someone's messaging me. Oh, it's Raul. Oh wait, he probably doesn't want me to put that up there. What am I doing? I thought it was like Sasuke or somebody saying, "Hey, shut up! You're saying sensitive information." I'm like, okay, quit. What am I doing? Back to strategy builder. Let's see what you guys are saying first. So, I feel like because Naruto and Sasuke are basically gods, you're not wrong. They did fight gods, like 6 paths, and oh my gosh, I'm not gonna think about it. I learned a lot from Naruto, and other things, but they had to hardcore nerf them and make the new generation extremely strong for no other reason than catch up to the old characters. You're right. You're so right. Like, even Sasuke without a arm just went up there and gave everybody the smoke. Like, nobody wanted it. And then his little darter, oh my gosh, like, I got hype, bro, when I saw he had a darter and she pulled a Sharingan and said Naruto. Oh, no, not Naruto. She said Boruto. We gonna square up. I'm like, oh man. But what am I doing? I got distracted. So, could you share your gap up short ticker screenshot? I would like to track more tickers for my data. Could you share your gap up ticker screenshot? You know, I'll have to get back to you on that. I'll ask like Steven if that's like okay. Because if I start doing that, I feel like I'll be held like liable for something or something like that. But in my case, I kind of don't care. But I do, like, I'm a little more I'd rather help somebody. And when I what do you call this? When I bring up the what I track and the notes that I go through, I can just put in on the it's spiking up right now. But what was I gonna say? When I put up these screens, it's recorded the whole time. So I just assume that you guys are already looking at what I'm saying on here and then like taking these charts and just using them for like whatever you need, really. And yeah, I'm okay with that. I just don't want it to come back and like bite me later saying, oh, I saw from one of Dontez's notes, he did this, and so, you know, I got led astray. Because like at the end of the day, if you follow anybody, there's going to be some type of doubt that's going to add up inside of you. And then that's going to get you. I'm not going to get you. Like, you're going to get you. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot. And it's hard to save you from yourself. So like, you know, like, look at this. Like, first thing you see when you come to my homepage, like, big word I see is like laziness stems from self-doubt. Like, yeah. But what am I doing? I think it was, I was explaining strategy better. Yeah, so I don't even know how many people are in here. Like, everybody could have left and I wouldn't even known. Hold on, how do you? Oh, okay, we got 11. Okay, we got the real ones. What am I doing? If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and I'm gonna get back to it. So, can you see the screen? Yeah. So strategy builder. I left off with basically how do you create your risk reward. Down here you have the fitness function, which is basically the performance metric that you're mining for, and it's the fitness function. So in my case, I usually stick with winning percentage, but you know, some people they just want to see how much potential money can be made, so they'll look at like profit factor, or they'll look at, you know, P&L to drawdown, like whatever fits their fancy. And if you're looking for things that have like a really wide amount of like trades all at once, like a lot of trades, they're probably looking at expectancy score. It really just depends on, you know, your edge. Other than that, you got max holding time, which is so max holding time is determined by the number of closes, because when you're in the market, a good translation of performance in the market is not time. So like when you go to, let me pull up strategy builder, or not strategy builder, stock graph. When you go to, let me keep this refreshed just so I can make sure the FOMO's there. I read that. We're here. Your stream's helping with the FOMO. Thanks, Chris. It helps me too. But what am I saying? You're going to look at how this opens here. Well, it kind of opened there. Yeah, but basically this opens here and it closes here. That makes this up here a profitable close. And then see this candle's green, which means that, you know, it obviously opened or it closed a little bit higher than that. So that makes that a second profitable close. number of closes is better to determine price action. And there's a inherent deficiency in the Japanese candlesticks where you create a candle based off of the amount of time that's passed instead of the amount of, price action or like points based off of, the price moving. And so if you don't really understand that, I recommend looking at Renko candles, Renko candles that basically, they move based off of, the price action only. And the only time you'll create a candle is if the certain amount of price action is like made. So if we're making Renko candles based off of like 5 points, or in this case, like 5 cents, every 5 cents, you'll see a green candle, like when it goes up. But if, 2 minutes goes by and then the stock is still going sideways, or it only goes up 1 or 2 cents, or consolidates back and forth within like, a few cents, no candle is going to be made. It doesn't care. It just wants to see it hit that range. And the thing is that narrows down a lot of noise if you're looking for certain like momentum. Oh yeah, I see you over there moving. It went up to 230, dropped down real quick. If I did go in right now, it'd be super small. It'd be like out of the 3,000 that I borrowed, I'd only put in like, no, it wouldn't be worth it. Yeah, it wouldn't be worth it at all. No, yeah, because I'm based off of where it's at compared to where I think it's gonna go. I'm only gonna put in like a 1/10. Like a 1/5 is what I want minimum though, and that yeah, no, I'm not getting squeezed. So I could risk the high a day, and then burn. But now I'm under PDT. I don't want to do that. Okay, what am I doing? Yeah, but basically, Renko candles, it's based off of the number of closes and also price action. And that shows you a bigger picture of the market. And that's a better translation of, the market, especially if you're looking for like momentum change. And so let's see, 15. So let's do, keep it at 5 minutes. And so if I'm looking for big momentum changes, I don't want to see the small, like little hiccups that could potentially shake me out. I want to keep the candles like pretty big. And that's where like Renko candles come in. But that was me trying to explain why the close is important. Yeah, I went a little too deep into that. But that's what the max holding time is. And having this max holding time of 1 is 1 close. That means 1 day. And what that does is the max that we hold, whatever criteria that we make over here, is going to hold it 1 day. And so if it's going to hold 1 day no matter what, and then exit the position, that means it's going to paint a specific equity curve. And then that's going to show you the gradual trend based off of the historic data, as well as your criteria that you make. And that's just something you like to have as a base. And then you can tweak it later when you want to look for the most. Okay, looking at the stock. When you want to look for the most congested points to take the meat of the move and make money off of that. Next, you got profitable close. I think I talked about that. Close just has to be a little bit higher if you're going long. If you're going short, close has to just be a little bit lower than the previous. And in this case, I put it at 999, which basically says it's so high that it's kind of stupid. And that's how the algorithm sees it. So it sees it as blank. And I rather put that instead of 0 because you know how it goes with like Python, Excel, and all those type of stuff. If you put the 0 in like one of the denominators, the stuff like a 0001 or a few things like that, it can come up with an error, and we're not trying to deal with that. So we're just gonna leave it as like we're gonna break it by just making it so big that the program is just like, I'm tired of your stuff. But that's something else. Next we go to in sample minimum trades and out of sample minimum trades. that's where so you have in sample trades based off of, you know, your criteria, and it runs it across how much data you're looking at a time. And that's going to come up with a minimum of 100 trades. Based off of that 100 trades that it's looking at, it's going to simulate what it might look like in the future. And it's going to do another 100 trades because that's what we put out. So it's going to do a minimum of 200 trades. Now, this out of sample percentage, this basically takes 30% of that out of sample and then puts it on the end of the in sample and gives you, like, you know, an equity curve, or shows you what it's going to look like. If you guys are a little confused, I could just, actually I have 3 symbols in here right now. I could just do that. So the default, that's just a sanity check, just to say something's not 0. Here we go. RSI. So the way you read this is the length is in. If you click on it, it goes to length. You got the offset, which is like the number of days according to close, because we're thinking quantitative trading, which is different from the trading we do. It's all in number of closes. It goes backwards, by the way. So right now, what did I say? Oh, this is the length, this is the offset, and this is the value. You come up here, this is the base where it starts. So you start with 0, and we're trying to get to 5, which is the max. So from 0 to 5, and we're taking steps of 1. So it goes, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing over here. It goes 10. We're taking, steps of 0 apparently, and it counts it all the way up to there. What am I doing? Yeah, so that's RSI, and you probably know the basics of RSI. If you don't, it's pretty much another price action indicator, and tells you when a stock is overbought or underbought. Overbought, and then overbought, or oversold. Yeah, oversold at the bottom. And the common thresholds people look at is like 70 when it's overbought. At 30, it's like under. I always get that mixed up. But basically, not a lot of people are paying attention to it, and that's a good signal that you should buy the dip. But what am I doing? I actually used that the other day to to cover my ZIVO. That was pretty fun. But what am I doing? Buy the dip. SMA, simple moving average. I'll just put in the 10-day period. And the way you read this is the open of today, which 0 is, we're talking about closes. And so if it's 0, that means there hasn't been a close today. And we're not talking about the close tomorrow or like previous. So that automatically by default puts you today. So the open of today is greater than the simple moving average on the of today, which is what the 0 means. And then the in parentheses is the length of time. And that's how that should be read. And I basically use this and the RSI as an entry signal. And that's pretty much it. I can throw on more signals, but that would take a lot longer because we're looking at 20 years of data at a time. And I'm running it across the NASDAQ right now. I probably didn't show that last time. Could you type Renko candle correctly? Renko? Yeah, so Renko bar. Renko. I think. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, Renko chart. So a Renko bar. But what am I doing? Yeah. Get distracted. There we go. Someone said something like that before. How much were your borrows? I got them pretty cheap. 0.007. And yeah, okay, I probably shouldn't say that word, but I'm very giddy about cheap borrows. Yeah, like I'll be the first one in the thrift store for real. Like I'll come in there, I'm just like, oh, hold on, you got that discount fashion store? This is that the second or third shipment of some like high quality goods. Give me, bro. And then that's where Steven, you know how he is. He goes and he gives you that parent, that Chinese parent look, and he's just like, bro, You know we ain't gotta do that. I'm just like, but it's cheap. But what am I doing? Yeah. So I have I have one parameter, and I have 3 entry criteria I have set. I'm not gonna set any exits right now. I could put in the custom indicator I created before, which was just range, and I feel like that'll mess something up if I do it now. And I basically created that up here, and went to comparative, and I use it as a filter. So you put the indicator, put the conditional statement, put in how much. Also added an extra rule. Then indicator, conditional statement, how much. So I'm minimum looking for 1 million. So that's only in the morning. Like towards the later in the day, I'm looking for something a lot higher because I'm looking for something that like tops off. But that's a little too much. What am I doing? Yeah. So go to the legacy signals. They're built in. Yeah, this should be a pretty quick test. It probably might take only like 30 seconds or something. Let's see how many strategies looks that. Okay, enough. Like so basically what this does, it gives me in sample trades, and then based off of those, it gives me out of sample trades. And then it combines those two, and it's saying, hey, which one's the best? Okay, we'll just put it in all for you. And I'm just like, thank you, program. What am I doing? Yeah, bro, this stock, like every time I see it move in my peripheral, like it's just like, oh, you're gonna miss me, bro. You're gonna miss me. You want to size in, do it. No one's watching. And I'm just like, man, everybody's watching. But what am I doing? No. Yeah, so in this area, each function is separated by a comma. I did a regular simulation, so it only does up to 4 functions at a time. If I wanted to exceed that, I'd go to continuous simulation. But for now, these are each of the strategies that are generated, and then they're ranked according to the performance metric, which you can see there's a lot of them. But in this case, we use winning percentage. So we're just going to click this until it looks like it's at the top. And they look like they're all the same. So let's just wait till it's pretty. Okay, that one looks like a higher P&L to drawdown. So in the exit paradigm, basically it looks for, one profit of 1,000 and then one loss of 1,000. And it holds it for a max of 1 day. Everything else is just a performance metric over there. What you do with this is you can click it, come over here to run it through any one of these sophisticated tests. And that could be something as simple as, just looking at the equity curve where like this area is the in sample data, this is the out sample data, and like this is the number of trades like that make that kind of curve. This is the buy and hold versus if you like, just bought and hold, and you can compare it to that. And that usually when you compare your equity curve to another like moving average or some other type of curve that shows translation in the market, it shows you the health of your strategy. And so use that concept to play with the strategy. Same thing with like the drawdown. This basically just shows you how bad it can get in terms of how much money you can lose in terms of points in this case, because like that's what these are, points. Because if you put in money, that's a lot of money. Real, now this shows how the real historic data treated our strategy, and you can see how there's like all kinds of like little ones. This shows like a few instances of like each one of the like functions as they separately like went through, and it looks pretty healthy. It's kind of in between, and they ended up in the same place, and like that's really what matters. But I'm not waiting like 2,500 trades or 3,000 trades until I see that steady curve, because if you look at it like objectively, like going side to side, like besides the predicted data, it's going sideways. So let's look at the amount of time, and you see that it's definitely going sideways at this point. And I don't even start like making a lot of money until like 2015, so I'm not about it. What am I doing? So one of the metrics, you the biggest thing is, if you want to see if your strategy is like viable, just make sure this blue is above the red, because red is just random data. And if you can't even be random, that's not a strategy, bro. That's pretty much it on that. I'll do like one or two more. This is variance testing, which basically it takes a few of the trades that were made and it shuffles them about 1,000 times, and it makes these scenarios. And these are like, 1,000 scenarios scattered on top of each other, just to show you if one thing went wrong in your execution at any point, would you still become profitable? And the general idea is, like, since this is the original, you want this to be kind of in the middle of whatever variation of the trend. And right now it's kind of not in the middle. So I'm not that happy about it, because it's only a 52 winning percentage in the first place. And it kind of shows, because like, look at that. It barely goes in there. And then you can also like, expand it, twist it, and other things, just to show you how much it can take. But if you really wanted to test like the robustness of your strategy, you just come down here to do like, robustness testing. And that's where, if you're a meta trader, you can compare the equity curve to other places, and like simple moving averages, and SMA, IBR, RSI, ATR, like legit, like all the indicators. You can add some economic things like above GDP, under like a certain standard, if like what do you call it? Like all kinds of economic things, whether it had news, the seasonality, let's do day of the week, on, what would that be? Tuesday, your strategy just loses money, so never trade Tuesday. Like a little bit of everything. But that's enough for now. I talked a little bit too much and we're over time. So let me go back to my face. And that's the end of the stream, guys. It's Friday, so I won't see you till Monday. Like I'm gonna miss you. So let me give you like one last comment on like CEI. It looks like where'd it go? Hold on. Where's the information? There we go. Ooh, that's a lot of volume. Yeah, but it's nothing compared to what it has to go through. And it's only been an hour into the market. And so an hour times 4, that times 4. Yeah, I still think it's going up. All right, so that's enough for today. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.